Yo, 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 it's your boy Swag, and I'm back. And last night, that Suge Night podcast popped off. And I'm here to bring you all the details that you probably won't hear unless you watch it. But I'm here to break it down just in case you ain't got time to watch it. I'm going to try to make this less than like a 3-minute video. Suge Knight is one of the greats, owners of Death Row back in the day. He comes out and he gets to spin the facts. And the reason why he said he did this podcast is so history won't be changed. He said the biggest focus on this podcast is to tell the real story. So we're going to kick it off with one of the things that Suge Knight said that's not in the video. I couldn't find the audio to this particular interview. I've been looking for it for a while now because I wanted to cover it with me doing my Chi-Town, Chicago blogs. And what he said back in the day was interesting. He said, you ever notice that when artists become big and there are groups that they get split up? And in particular, he used Nelly's situation to break down this scenario. He said the Saint Lunatics was one of the hottest rap groups to come out back in the day, around the time where music was a business for black folks, because he said that Death Row started it all, and I'm going to get into it because that's what he talked about. We ain't going to talk about all the rumors and all the bad stuff. We're going to talk about the stuff that he wants the people to know as far as this podcast. And he said that the labels breaks up groups and have it to where the money doesn't come in as much as it's supposed to, and it stops family members for being family, which is what we're seeing with the Saint Lunatics. So he said what they'll do is, instead of signing the group, they'll sign one person. So at the time, as drill started, you know that the whole GBE OTF count 300 was as one. That's what you knew them as, 300 OTF. And then once they signed Lil Dirt, they broke the chains of the organization because they took one. Once you take one, then everybody else falls down. So as you see throughout the years, what happened? OTF got a tour with GBE supposedly. And to this day, they're still not as cool as they once was when they was 300. So once you get money introduced into the situation, then you start to control everybody around the situation. So what the labels did, they signed Dirt. Then they signed Lil Reese. And then they signed Keith. And by them doing that, they're not an organization. Don't you know how they say a RICO Act is to take down an illegal organization? So basically what the labels do is they take down a legal organization and breaks it down to different parts to where it's different sects. And then, you know, once it becomes sex is like different gangs, like GDBD, since we're talking about Chicago. So sex, once you break it down to different sects, and then each set has their own motives and responsibilities, and it's no more whole. So now I'm finna get right into it, and I'm already at the 3-minute mark. Sorry, y'all, but I had to break that down because that's important in the time of the culture and what he been pushing way before the podcast. He been pushing these issues, but people didn't pay attention because he always looked at as the bad guy. Nobody never really looked at the points that he's making and the knowledge that he's giving. And one thing he said is Death Row started the owning the masters. Suge Knight said, when I started Death Row, nobody knew what master was. Everybody was looking at me crazy. They said, oh, I ain't no slave. I don't know what a slave is. But because Suge Knight was one of the first, he wasn't the first, but he was one of the first revolutionized black owners of a company, that he was able to get his masters, which helped him try to get his artist masters, which helped him spread the ear to other people to get their masters. You know what I'm saying? And he said he was big on that. And he said he was the first person to approve the radio play for artists. He said that before Death Row came on, that artists was only getting like 5% up to 10% of the radio play. And since Death Row came in, they dominated the music wave, and they was able to dominate the radio. And he said he not looking for thanks for that, but he just wants y'all to know the facts. So I'm breaking down the facts because I know as this come out that you already heard all the rumors. So you're probably not going to go check out the podcast because he's talking about some of the things that was already talked about. But the facts is important, and I'm breaking them down for you. And he also said that in this day and age that as males, we might knock the women far as what they doing now, like I ain't with the like sex lyrics, even though we grew up on gang lyrics, but it's like, damn, am I contradicting myself? Am I being biased? But he said that he liked what the women is doing. He said from back in the day when he was growing up, women was so scared to to say who they was messing with and to show their love for their husband or their boyfriend. But he's saying today's time, you see that couples are showing themselves, artists, singers, producers, A&Rs, record label executives, anybody that's a brown skinned woman is showing that they care about their men and putting it out in the public. He said it was a time where they were scared, and he said that they are the ones that's running the culture and they are the forefront. So we should honor what they're doing and get a little bit into more what they got going on. He really didn't get into details outside of them not being scared to be they self as far as like relationships. That was just one thing he noted that's better in today's time versus yesterday, And he also states that hip hop is the number one thing in music far as the black culture. He said hip hop brings us to one and rap brings us to a subjournal. So he wanted to make note that hip hop, the culture is number one, not rap, hip hop. So with that in mind, hip hop did start the music thing. He said he don't want rap and hip hop and R&B to be singled out, just to be under the umbrella of hip hop, and we should all give each other our flowers. That he don't want history change. He tired of hearing everybody tell different stories. He said everybody should have one story. He's coming out to tell his because he is the man that started Death Row Records. Then he get into how he started Death Row Records, swag. He said that he was looking at St. Quentin, the Death Row system, and he was like, I want to start a record label behind the Death Row and the St. Quentin, how they was killing folks. And he said once he tried to start his label that somebody else already owned the name of the Death Row. So he said he went to that particular guy and he paid them off $10,000 just to own the name Death Row. So everything that you seeing right now, far as other people owning Death Row, quote unquote, he said that's not true. He's coming back for his own thing. We're gonna get into a little bit more about the owning of Death Row a little bit later. I want to get back into the facts that he want to get out there as far as the breakdown of this podcast besides the rumors. And he said, it's about over with. I ran through that pretty quick off the top of my head. So then he said, by Death Row starting the owning of the masters and helping black artists get on the radio more. He said he's happy with everything as far as the culture and how it advanced. And he said if you get into this rap business, that you should be better than Death Row. You should take Death Row as a tutorial of what to do, and then you should be better than Death Row. He said Death Row was the start of a revolution, and you're benefiting off the revolution. So if you're not bigger than Death Row, you're doing something wrong. He said in this day of time that we should be getting better and better and better. So with that being said, if you're not bigger than Death Row, owning your masters on that radio, doing your independent thing, then you're not bigger than Death Row. That's the main thing that he wanted to push: independency. You gotta be independent. And he also said that by him owning Death Row and him paying that $10,000, that nobody else can own Death Row but him. Even the record labels don't own Death Row. He said he was backdoored by the record labels, that they put him on fraud for owning Death Row, that somebody supposedly supposed to give him a check to own Death Row, and that's how the labels got into control of it. He said he's working on that now to get things back under control. So with that being said, it's your boy Swag. I hope you like this breakdown. This is like my second breakdown of a long video to give you the facts. You know what I'm saying? You can check out my other one. The co-founder of the GDs with Larry Hoover. I did a breakdown of his story. You can go check that out. I'll probably create a whole new playlist of breakdowns because I know a lot of people ain't got time to watch the full interview. And even if you want to watch the interview, I'm gonna put it in the description. So make sure you like and subscribe. This is just the details of the facts of what he wants you to know. Not the rumors, not the bullshit. It's your boy Swag, and I'm out.